Hello and welcome to Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. I'm your host HS Blue, and on the left we have Sly Sonic,
Hello, hello.
and on the right we got Oggy.
What's up?
Yeah, let's start our file on 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so right at the start we're gonna run off, and we're meant to do this whole tutorial that takes like 4 minutes, but we're just gonna jump on this like little antenna, get in the corner of here, let you grab that corner, and jump around the death plane in this little pocket, and fall all the way to the end of Paris. There you go. That's the whole tutorial world done in just a few seconds. Let's go. So we did a bit of there's a bit of pre-run setup where we can skip all the cutscenes from in between every single world. So that's why we start from a load file instead of a new file. So much better for runs. But yeah, do you want to talk about what's coming up, Oggy, with the World 1?
Yeah, sure. So after you skip this cutscene right here, we're going to go straight in and meet Based Sign. So the way this game handles Sly getting stuck is basically spitting him out. So he's gonna get stuck behind this sign. The game doesn't want him to be stuck here. So the game's just gonna spit him out, and that gains us speed and height, which makes us able to get on top of certain things that we're not supposed to be. So now Blue is just gonna maneuver over here, and there's coming up a trick here.
Yeah, so this is boost jumping. If we pause the game, we can actually slow it down enough that we can squeeze in just a tiny extra jump, and that gets us barely enough height to make it out of bounds here. We're just going to be doing a whole bunch of just sort of general movement up this cliff, and this is a massive corner cut, and it skips around three cutscenes or so. We're going to fall right down to these water wheels, and we're going to go for... We sort of manipulate these cycles so that we can get through them very quickly, and we are going to go to the end of the stealthy approach. So this is sort of our introductory level to World 1. Every world is sort of structured this way, where it begins with an introductory level, and right here is the key. So keys are very important to sort of casual play. We're supposed to collect a whole bunch of them to get through the worlds, and they are sort of the main progression collectible. But this is any percent, so we got some funny shenanigans going on. So Augie, if you want to take over.
Yeah, sure. So each of the main hub worlds after the introductory level are split in two by a hub barrier. The hub barrier can be skipped in all of the levels or all the worlds, which Blue is gonna do now. So first he's gonna get a charm that we need later in the next hub. Then he's gonna maneuver himself over to this top roof with the guard, where Blue is gonna aggro the guard. The guard's gonna come running. He's gonna sneak around the corner, and now he's gonna jump on his snot to get over the wall. Beautiful.
Nice.
Insanely hard.
And then we're now going to over here to this cannon. This is normally where you would put all 7 keys, but Blue is just gonna start a position here, and he's doing something called super jumping, which is to hit the square or the cane right before you land and then jump. This sets Sly's position. It's gonna get stuck and go straight back to the original spot and into the cannon.
Very nice.
Nice.
And yeah, that skips the entire 7 key barrier. We don't need to pick up anything for World 1, and we just go straight to the boss fight.
Yeah, we just skipped everything, and now we're on PS3, so I can reset the game through the PS3 menu. So this skips the entire dialogue of this like frog that is alive. I don't know, this game's funny, but okay, I need to change my display port to HDMI because of my monitor. But on PS2, some areas you actually want to turn off your console and turn them back on to skip really long cutscenes. Others, it's better to stay in the game. But for the backwards compatible PS3, we're able to play the PS2 version of this game and reset through the PS3 menu, which is very helpful. Okay, so here's the boss that we are now directly in. We need to count like 2, 5 times. After the 5th bounce, the frog deflates, and ooh, I hit that frog really late. He was going to the center, but we just snuck the hit in. If we do it too early, then 3. Then okay, boom. So we hit him after he jumps, because if he doesn't jump and we hit him too early, then he falls in the water, and then we have to wait for him to get out of the water back into the middle. Okay, I miscounted there, but yeah, we're on the last phase. Now all of the platforms are gone, and it's just me and him and this one platform. Oh god. We have to count 6 here, so 2, 3. And on the 6th hit, or jump, we jump, swing, hit, view the map, we go to the hideout through the map, leaving the boss that we've killed, skipping the cutscene, going directly into World 2.
Very nice. So now we are in World 2. All we need to activate, or all we need to enter World 2 is to have the boss to be considered killed, so we can just exit as soon as he is killed. And now we are in beautiful Mesa City, where in this introductory level here at Rocky Start, we are going to be attempting to skip all of it by using this dog. We're going to do a pretty precise lineup here, and if we hit this trick right, Sly will get sent flying into the air, getting a whole bunch of speed and momentum, and we can skip a huge chunk of this level. There are a ton of different setups that can get us different places, but we can land back here for this backup charm. It's always very nice to have a backup charm on hand, because there are things that can go wrong, and essentially a charm lets us take an extra hit in case they do get wrong. Just going through this movement here, with the dog launch, we actually have a potential of getting Funk all the way to the end of the level, but it's really hard, so...
Ooh, whoops.
Ooh, taking damage there.
Yeah, I don't know what to do there.
And yeah, we are going to pick up this key here. Technically, we can skip it, but that's very finicky. But this is only a couple seconds long of an animation. We just got to open this door, and we'll be into the main World 2 hub. I sure hope we don't skip anything here.
Oh, there's no chance. So now that we're in the main part of the hub 2, Blue is gonna load here. It's gonna put him on top of the bridge where there is a cutscene. But on this version, we can just load again to skip a cutscene, or the cutscene. Now there's a guard here, but that's no problem for Blue. Blue is just gonna jump over him and swipe him and take him down. So now we're gonna line ourselves up here. This is another one of those stuck spots, just like the base sign. Gets put straight on top of the roof, and just have to make this little jump here. Perfect. Okay,
nice.
Now we are out of bounds, and on, I guess you could call it the roof. It's kind of half roof-ish. The game is a little bit interesting. It's just gonna stroll over here, jump down to this specific section, and it's gonna start another super jump chain, just like with the cannon. This one is gonna send him flying straight through the portal, where you normally would have to have 7 keys to open the mouth of Mugshot there. But Blue doesn't need that. Heading now straight into a reset in the Mugshot boss fight.
Yeah, no, this game is really fast-paced. We're already at the end of World 2.
And this is a great point to talk about the PS3 difference to PS2, right?
We can talk a little bit about it. The PS3 version of this game, aka the remaster version, has quite a few differences. There's a whole different method doing World 2 skip. We don't have the same file setup. There's a whole bunch of differences. But right now, we are just going to go back into the game so we can load the Mugshot boss fight. And Mugshot's fight is a really weird one. We can't attack him directly, but we do have to swing at these mirrors here, turn them around, and something Mugshot takes damage. We're actually going to manipulate Mugshot's position here by missing this mirror, and if we hit... Ooh, a bit of an unfortunate death, but that's
Don't worry, we have lives left.
Yeah, we got a bunch of lives. So we are going to just hit these mirrors, and we're going to attempt to manipulate Mugshot's position. so that we can skip a bit of dialogue. Once we hit this last mirror, we can whack at Mugshot, and it skips a whole spiel of "my guns are destroyed," and it's a pretty long cutscene for what it is.
Yeah, so essentially, Mugshot's guns, he must have gotten scammed when he bought them, because it doesn't take more than a few lumen of light to overheat them. It's like revolver, machine gun kind of thing. You know, he got definitely scammed when he bought this.
Oh,
Yeah, now in the third phase of this fight, Blue is gonna attempt something called Chandelier Jump, which you might guess is jumping on top of the chandelier. The devs put up a little nice area here where we can land and run. Just gonna hit all these lights when he hits the last mirror, and then view map out. Well, I guess it depends a little bit. It depends
Yeah.
if Blue pauses too early or too late. He paused a little bit too early, that means he has to load. If he pauses late enough, you will see the save percentage pop up, then he can just view map out. Now heading into the World 3.
Yeah, so immediately in this introductory level, we're going to do a massive skip here, doing a bunch of setups and lineups here. We're going to open the PlayStation menu to release everything, and if we did this just right, Slime will get
Let's go!
flung all the way to
Nice.
this exact location.
oh my.
Really, really cool skip there. And this entire level, a lot of levels in this game are just big circles, so we can just go right to the end here.
That was very epic and cool. And there's a route that we do every single time. We have to hit all the candles to unlock the dome here. Grab the key, and we are out of the like tutorial level of World 3. We're gonna head to the hub world where all the levels are, and there is no skip like in World 2. We don't skip every single world. We go through everything, but every single level in this world has a really cool trick to it. Coming up with this first one, we're gonna get launched directly into a cutscene, but we can load out of it right now. And we're gonna, yeah, we're going to the first level here. Cut that
Yeah, so
corner,
this
save the
is-
frame.
This is Lair of the Beast. It's a very straightforward level, but we have a bunch of huge skips we can do here. First off, immediately off the bat, we're going to be skipping this cutscene here, just by loading the game, because we can do that on the PS2 version. Here we're supposed to go like to the right and do a bunch of platforming, but if we land on the root of this tree, we can just jump up to this part, and that's that platforming section completely skipped. And now we are going to do a massive skip of this level by doing a cane jump where
Let's go.
we get a lot of distance. First try is really nice there. We get a bunch of distance from that cane jump, and we can walk along this wall. And if we fall down, that's the end of the level right here.
Boom.
If you're familiar with this level, there's like a whole section where a beast is chasing you down, but we can very easily skip that entire level just by going
Such a
out
cool
of bounds
level.
there.
So now we're heading into Piranha Lake, the development team's favorite level, most likely. It's a mini game, kind of. It's a little bit hard to explain. You essentially have to light all of these voodoo lantern things with this fish. This skiff that Sly is using right now is a bone-crunching fish oil factory that essentially makes him able to instantly turn piranhas into fluid that's flammable, that he can shoot out of the nozzle. That's essentially a flamethrower. You know, you have some beautiful music in the background while it's happening.
This is crazy. Get
so
up!
he-
Yeah,
he
Get
needs
up back
to-
here!
he needs to light 25 of these. There is some tech to do here. Basically, maneuvering in the. It's easy to get stuck on a fish here. Oh, beautiful. So you can maneuver around to make fish turn in a specific way. It is a little bit difficult
Oh
to
my
get
god.
it 100% correctly. So there is a lot of variance of how fast you can do this. There's a
There's
very
also
hard
the-
skip you can do here, which we're not going to go
Undimensionable
for.
skip.
That is essentially the level. Now Slicer's gonna collect the key and head to the main part of the hub again.
Now that that stress fest is out of the way, we're going to get to the next level a very interesting way. We're gonna like jump off of this little tooth a little bit, and here's the next world. Do you want to talk about this one, Sly Sonic?
Sure. So this is Grave Undertaking. When we said we are going to skip a whole bunch of levels, we meant it. This one is a very short level, going to be immediately going out of bounds, getting a few tricky ledge grabs up here, and this one is a very hard ledge grab. Let's see. Nice. All right. Doing a bunch of platforming around these trees, and we can immediately go into... Basically, this entire level is just a big circle, so if we just go out of bounds and go the other way around, we are literally at the end of the level right here. Really cool skip. This level's seen a lot of development lately. Exit level as we touch the key, just skips that key animation. Really nice.
And then going straight into a super jump out of bounds. What's it called? A slope jump.
Look.
Directly out of bounds. Breaking into the other part of the hub, into a minigame. This isn't just any minigame though. This is
the dev's other passion.
whose idea was okay, so we have 50 chickens and we gotta hit them, but they're like crazy and stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, yep. After 8 chickens we start getting these like bomb chickens. No way. And we want to run away from... Okay, okay. Stay away from me. Okay. And when they hit each other, they blow up. And they spawn. I gotta watch out. Hopefully they don't spawn on top of me. That was close. Okay. Oh my god, this is awful. Okay. Yeah, how many go? 16. Oh my god. Okay. Get out
As
the
you
way.
can no doubt tell, chickens is a stressful experience.
Please.
Oh, this is therapy right here.
Oh my god, this is awful. Okay. We're clutching up. Okay. 28.
Look in.
Okay, but okay. Get in my cane.
Yeah, the key here is to not panic.
Okay, that is horrendous. Oh my gosh, that was awful.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is...
We can get
this
that
is
charm
so-
back immediately at the key. Once we hit 50 chickens, the key will spawn, and if we load game before we touch the key, then we can get our charm back. So
Wait,
making
really?
it just in the nick of
I
time.
can't do this. It's 4 seconds, please. Come on.
Well, yes.
Nice. God gamer.
So I get the key cutscene and then I load. Like this.
Yeah, we kind
No,
of
it
did
would
it
be-
in the wrong order, but it's fine. We
That
can
went
just
what?
Yeah.
exit now. We
Oh,
can just
okay.
exit
Go.
now, yeah.
Ooh.
There we
I
go.
don't know
We're
that.
out of stress hell. There we go.
Do we need a charm? No.
Nah.
Blue skill level is through the roof. There is no need for a charm here.
I didn't know that actually. So if you load game and then jump into the key, it skips the key cutscene and you get your charm back. Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the backup.
How? That's
The game
the
is a little
backup.
bit quirky. So when you load the current how can I say state that the save file is in, but it also lets you hit something that saves over it, which doesn't make any sense to me, but the game allows it to
Yeah.
happen.
Essentially what
Very-
happens is that the game instantly loads as soon as you press X to load your file, so during that 1 second fade out, you are in that other file state. It's very weird and technical.
Game gets confused. Anyway, this is how I got to ESA, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I'm Australian. You know, times are tough. You know, the airport. They took my console away. I don't know. Oh my gosh! Imagine though. So
the
the
Pascal
funny.
team is coming up to attack.
Yeah. Okay. So holy moly. So we got these like spawner pillars, and they spawn crazy amounts of ghosts, and we gotta like juggle between like progressing and shooting the ghosts so we don't actually die, because oh my gosh, because dying is bad.
Survival is really stressful in this level.
Should I shoot that guy?
You have a little fan behind you there.
The fans are creeping up during HS Blue's voyage.
Jump scare. Oh, I didn't know the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Jeez. Extra scare in it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Boom. Okay, we're coming up to the really crazy, big, final, huge shenanigans multi-spawner. We got 3 spawners right here. So we're gonna do a little trick where we poke our gun in between the walls. We shoot all the enemies. We shoot behind the shielded spawners. Right there. Hopefully we hit it. And then we go over here. Okay, did we not hit? Come on. Okay, that. Okay, I think we hit it. Okay.
Should be good. You're good.
Okay, we're good. What? What?
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Don't know
that
how you
area-
missed that trigger.
That area is oddly particular. It's very strange, but
Yeah,
essentially
even-
what we did is that Blue went on a little bit of an incline to shoot those gravestones way earlier than we're supposed to. But yeah,
So here Blue is doing some dodging mechanics, just dodging over the lights with the circle inputs, which makes you jump a little bit higher. Descent into Danger is a very nice level. Did Sly put on a scuba suit? Who knows? Let's see what happens. So first off, we're gonna break this little wall here. Now Blue is gonna go into doing a cane jump off this bone, as we call a bone jump. He's gonna go for it again.
Yes.
Nice. Now
Okay.
Blue is gonna jump up here, gonna go out of bounds a little bit, and then kind of inbounds. Gonna set up to do something weird here.
Please.
Let's see what happens. And he gets it.
Oh my
Glug, glug.
gosh.
So
Oh,
essentially, Blue just gets between the goo, and is gonna now go underwater, under the water plane, and get the key, and then go straight back to chickens to save some time.
let's go.
let's
Yeah.
go.
So, holy crap. And that's it, like, that's every single level in World 3, just skipped. We unlock the elevator? Well, how do what even is this meant to be?
Voodoo
like some
magic.
sort Yeah, voodoo magic. Yeah.
It flings us
Yep.
directly into the boss fight trigger.
Voodoo
Yeah.
is very thick tonight.
But yeah, we are going to be resetting game yet again. If you've ever casually played this game, you might know Ms. Ruby has a very long speech, but in reality, that is actually the shortest boss introduction, so it's only barely worth it to skip this with a game reset. So we're just going to reset game here and do some funny movement into Ms. Ruby's boss fight. There's a whole lot to talk about, but at the same time, there's literally nothing to talk about during the boss fight. So we're immediately going to start with the first phase here, which is getting up to Ms. Ruby. We're just going to... this is all very cycle dependent. Just going to do a bunch of platforming to get up to Ms. Ruby, except we aren't going to directly hit her. Instead, what HS Blue is going to do is go out of bounds right here. Because if we were to go up and hit Ruby, there would be a really long cutscene of her just sort of explaining what's happening in the next section. And it's really, really long and lengthy, but for whatever reason, if we get out of bounds here, this collision is very slippery. If we get out of bounds here,
Invisible edges.
and make our way around to this body of water, for some reason, if we die specifically here, the game just skips that cutscene and progresses us to the first proper phase of the fight. Welcome to Furry DDR.
Boom, boom, boom.
So
how
during
does this work on PS3, Sonic?
Yeah, this fight on the PS3 version is actually kind of desynced because the game runs like 2% faster. This boss fight ends up getting more and more desynced on the PS3 version. But that being said, the PS3 version is quite different from the PS2 version of the game. I did a run at previous marathons for Sly 1 on the remaster version. I know me and Augie are very sort of in tune with the remaster version. We spent a lot of time with it, and it's a really cool version of the game to shout out. We don't get to see any cool flashy launches, but we get to see very clean movement and smooth gameplay. it's a very different playstyle.
Damn you
But
and your
also-
flash game.
Also, shout out to the chicken in the background doing backflips
That chicken doing backflips. Does he have a name? He should have a name.
from Gary.
He's the Gary.
Gary.
Gary the
oh,
chicken.
No.
no. Sorry,
Gary,
Talk about
why?
Gary.
my dad came in. The- that is so unfortunate. It's right.
Look how many backflips.
Look at how many Garys there
Oh
are.
my gosh. I think this was a world record pace. No, the personal best pace. I know what it is. So that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens, but unfortunately dying here does mean we have to restart the entire DDR section, so
A very
obviously-
long DDR section. It's a shame. Man, family RNG. That's alright.
obviously, you know, this would be a perfect time for messages, donations, all that, but since we don't have any of that, we're just going to explain a lot of simpler mechanics of the game. Like I mentioned before, the remaster version, although it desyncs this fight, is a very fun version to run on. And if you want to get into this game, there's a whole bunch of guides for both versions, and they are both very fun to play. They have their own unique skill sets that you have to get used to. So definitely a big shout out to the remaster gang. Just getting through the DDR section here, if you want to sort of explain what we're going to be seeing once we finish this phase, Blue, maybe?
Yeah, so we are. There's a more DDR after this segment. This boss fight goes for a very long time, but we can actually skip like the end of the boss where gosh, boom. So we have to hit the boss every time we get to the end of each segment, but since we're what? Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I hit X. Okay. Okay, maybe I should focus up when I'm doing this. Damn.
Alright, we'll let Augie explain the double hits then when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll take over.
Yeah, this game is really cool. Some extra things, we sort of briefly mentioned the 0% file, we can, I guess, explain that now. We start the game from a loaded file because at every world introduction and at the end of Paris, the tutorial level, there are a bunch of very long cutscenes that at some point in mid-2018 we had a massive vote to decide if we should allow a file that skips them, and that vote passed. That's also a big difference in the remaster version in that that file setup is not possible, but we still have other methods of skipping those longer cutscenes. And it's definitely helped towards the run because the flow is very tight-paced now with the general 0% file, loaded file, whatever you want to call it. Much different pace than what it was back in 2017. You might be wondering what they actually say here. When you press triangle and X, that's obviously voodoo. But circle and square led to a lot of debate as to what was being said until Kevin Miller, the actual voice actor for Sly Cooper, hopped into a speedrunner's chat to answer that question, pulled up the original script file, and we can confirm that they do say dig that when we use square and circle.
No way. What?
So now okay, it's coming double hits. So Blue is going to line himself up here, pause, load, and then hit 2 times. 1 time normally, and then 1 right before the load comes through. Essentially making him hit the 3rd cycle or phase and the 4th phase at the same time before that load is over. When the numbers come up, or the save file numbers comes up, that means that he got it, so that's good. Now we're heading into World 4, which is gonna start off with a very sick trick.
Yeah, so this is a really precise but really, really cool trick. We're going to be doing a few lineups here, really precise, finicky lineups, and if we did this right, then... Okay, we didn't quite get the
I
line
mean,
up.
you
This is a
can do
really,
it right, and it just doesn't work sometimes. It's so weird.
this is a really difficult finicky trip. That looks good.
Oh, that's so
nah.
close.
Barely, just barely missing it. There's a little teaser. We want to get a big launch up because this level is called a perilous ascent, as in we are literally ascending upwards, and we can skip a bunch of this ascension with this proxy here. So if we get it correctly,
Oh my.
yeah, this is a very tough one to do under pressure. So
Bruh. Oh.
and
Yes.
that should
Nice.
be
Yes.
good. Nice.
Oh my. So yeah, that is a very tight trick. Okay. I'm looking at like a pixel on the left side of the screen before it goes black. We can just like walk around these. This is a really easy area. But yeah, like lining up that trick to launch into the sky is insanely difficult. But yeah, coming up here, we're gonna be jumping around this. Okay, there we go. So we can skip this entire like sneaking around segment of the level that takes forever, and we can just hit the firework right at the top, skipping everything. And then there's a locked door here. We're meant to go like way over there and do all this stuff. But if you do a supercharge here, we're gonna store our standpoint by swinging, and boom, there you go.
Nice.
Nice.
So now we're heading into the main hub of World 4, and we're gonna do something that's called the infamous World 4 skip, one of the biggest skips found in the game. So there's many different ways to do this, but this is the newest version of the skip, also the fastest by quite a margin. So Blue is first going to do a little bit precise boosted jump here off the railing. You're on top of this pagoda. Then Blue is going to find a certain spot, go out of bounds, fly down, and then abuse the charm to get slingshotted straight into the hub. But sadly missed it right there. So I have to load and do it again. But yeah, there's so many different variants of this. There is, I think, 3, maybe 4 spots you can do it from. It has gone through so many iterations, so many different setups. Probably 20 different tutorial videos been made for the different versions of this, at least. Originally found by Paul and T Sparkles. Was
Shout out T-Sparkles.
really a crazy revelation in the game.
Yeah, this was found as recent as 2020. Just this entire World 4 skip.
Yeah.
But this iteration was only found a few months ago, and it saves about 20 seconds over what we used to do.
Come on.
And there. Oh, that's
That
good.
looks good.
Oh,
Nice.
and
And we hit the pause. So that pause there allows us to load the game as we're loading into Flame Fu, which is the boss area. And what that allows us to do is that we can reload our charm so that we can take this charm into the boss fight as we're fading into it. It's not a needed charm, but it is very, very nice to have a charm for the upcoming section of the game. But yeah, now we are going into the panicking boss fight. If you want to take over and explain, Blue.
I'm just changing my monitor settings. Okay. So the Panda boss fight, we start on the outer ring of the arena, and we have to make our way to the center before the next phase starts. After we hit the Panda like 10 times, he flings us back. Oof. But if we do a really tight jump as soon as we hit him, then he can actually, we can jump to prevent, like that, to prevent getting knocked back. It's really tight. Boom.
Yeah, this is
That's 3 in a row.
very tight. Let's see if we get this one.
Oh my god, that's 4 in a row.
Nice.
That's it. And we're at the end.
Really nice.
We jump, view map, and we leave the level again like last time and enter the final level. Holy crap.
Yeah, the Grim Panda strat is not the easiest thing in the world, so getting all 4 of them, especially in a marathon run, is really, really nice. And here we are into World 5.
This is a level called Hazy Path or Hazardous Path. It is notorious to break runners when they are peak nervous. It's not for the faint of heart. There is a lot to look at, a lot to shoot. The van is also constantly moving, unless it is very late in the certain section and the van will stop, which also can ruin people. So first we're gonna hit some of these owls here, then we're just gonna head straight into shooting rocks that has broken many runners, specifically Exo, an older runner. Yes, had a personal vendetta against this level right here.
These rocks were not nice to Exo.
That was...
That was
But
clean.
Blue just destroys them clean every time.
So yeah, this entire level is just sort of 2.5 minutes of just shooting and surviving, which is quite stressful and quite hard actually. So there's a bunch of focus here on not dying. These 3 massive boulders are going to come charging at us, but they are actually the easiest section probably to avoid.
It is
if we
also
just shoot-
it's also a perfect place for any messages that wants to be put through, due to it being an auto scroller if done correctly and fast.
Until this part where everything's insane, I have to focus up, and I do a little loop here because I don't want too many surviving, otherwise they'll just all come striking me down. Okay, we got one. Okay. This is
Yeah,
so
there's
stressful.
a whole bunch.
Oh my gosh, okay.
There's a whole
please,
bunch of different
please,
methods
please.
of doing this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Not even close. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I
there's a
remember
whole
that.
bunch of different methods to approach this level to survive. Because again, key thing is just surviving. But that was it for Hazardous Path. Now we're on to Burning Rubber. Yet another mini game. We're going to restart, skip this intro cutscene, and we're going to immediately turn back and push this slug out of bounds. He gets launched all the way behind the level, and now he's just falling infinitely. This mini game has us collect 60 computers before the slugs get them. But the secret that the game doesn't tell you is that the game actually just spawns the same 4 slugs over and over again. So pushing one of them out of bounds and trapping them indefinitely will just sort of... They will never come back, and this level becomes much easier and much faster to deal with. The general strategy we're going for here is just pushing the slugs off to the side. Because pushing them off to the side means that they take longer to come back to the arena. And yeah, we just need to collect 60 computers as fast as we can. They drop in different random locations. There's a swag cutscene skip you can do at the end here, but it's ultra precise, pretty much just a task strat.
Is there
where if
any
we pick up
RNG
this-
involved with that?
Yeah, where the computers drop, the last computer has to drop near the exit, and sort of you have to be very ready for it. It's literally just a task trick.
But someone has gotten it in a run before, and it was insane.
Yeah.
you also have to worry about where the slugs are. If one is creeping up there while you have one is placed, then the slug can destroy it. You also have to have at least one slug relatively near the exit, because the slugs will then return to the front, so that slug will then push Sly into or Murray into the trigger. So there's a few variables. But here coming up is Bentley Skip. There are so many different variations of this, but Blue is gonna go for a newer one found. Going to start off this by loading to skip this cutscene. Then going to set up a super jump chain to lower this ramp to get onto the part where the new variation is going to take place. Blue is essentially here going to abuse this turret's opening mechanism to get launched straight into the trigger. The trigger is opened by the camera. of Sly. So if the camera doesn't touch the trigger, then Sly can just go straight in. Beautiful.
Thank
Very
God.
nice. And now that skips an entire hacking minigame, and in that hacking minigame it's like several minutes long and very stressful if you don't know what you're doing, so getting that skip really quickly is really nice. And we get thrown into a temporary truce. We skip the cutscene at the beginning, and we are going to shoot these slugs. For the most part, this is an auto-scroller, but there is a lot of nuance to it, including shooting slugs as early as you can. One of the slugs in particular actually triggers Sly to take a slower path, so we want to ensure that that one specifically is killed. Going to try and snipe these falcons here before they even have a chance to fly out, and yeah.
Yeah, shooting these last like barriers so I can just run directly through. I don't know this, but like there's a chance that these blobs can actually spawn like in a weird way and launch. Oh my
Okay.
gosh!
The
Just like
thing
that.
is that launches doesn't really matter, but there is a chance that it launches fast and straight right and will hit Sly and kill him off.
Directly into Sly and kill you. That's crazy. That's a wild thing.
Really funny when it happens, but this is Sinking Peril. This is a huge trick gauntlet. We're gonna load to skip a cutscene and immediately do some crazy movement. We have to climb up this tower as fast as we can. This tower is sinking and there's a whole bunch of cycles that we need to keep in mind. We're going to do a shortcut here. Jumping on this gear will allow us to get enough height to make it to this rope, which is a little bit further in the level. The entire platform is tilting left and right, which will make this part a lot harder if we're not fast enough. So,
Ba-dum. Oh!
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
getting that first try is really nice, especially that quickly. That trick is a lot harder if we are on a really slow cycle with the entire tower, and that's the trick gauntlet already done before I even have a chance to finish explaining it.
Sorry.
And now we're heading into the sickest boss fight in video game entertainment industry. Trust. Music 10 on 10, boss fight 10 on 10. So essentially, what Blue is doing here is moving to a certain angle, either left or right, making Clockwork shoot that way, so that then Sly can go back into the middle to shoot at the points. The points that are being shot out is the head, the talons, the tail, and the wing. Missed that one barely. Carmelita took it out for you.
One shot.
So now you only have the wing left, and that. Oh, you hit the turret.
Am I? What?
You hit the turret.
You gotta hold as far up as you can for that one.
Yeah. So now that's the first phase done. There's gonna be a little interaction here between Bentley, Sly, and Clockwork, where essentially Bentley is a little bit too optimistic, and Clockwork is crazy boss. So coming up next here, there will be, if you see those rings on the wings and above Clockwork's head, they will shoot out purple electric rings. The rings will explode, and essentially if you're not in the middle of the ring, the entire other part of the screen will be broken. This is bad luck, but I will still explain it. So there's a chance that a ring will come back after you've gone through it and
very
hit
low
you in the
chance.
butt, and it's called purple ring. It is a low chance, but it sadly has happened, especially to me, a few times. So there is some movement you can do here. It all depends. It's cycle based, or it's not RNG, but there's a certain selection of where the purple rings come out of. So if they line up, if you get lucky and get the right one, you can basically pre-fire instantly onto to the area where you need to shoot. So here's you're gonna shoot the face, wing, side, wing, and the basically the bicep of Clockwork, and the right wing. That's the shots here. So now only the right wing left, and you got a good cycle for it, so you can shoot very early. Now, coming into the probably most nerve-wracking skip in the game. It's called
boy.
Clockwork Jump. It's gonna skip the entire walking around and climbing platforming section by doing a single jump. Okay, everyone hype up. This could be very big.
Go
Come
on.
on.
Oh,
And he
thank
gets
God.
too easy.
so good.
It's too easy for him. Beat up Clockwork, and that
Oh,
is time.
Oh my God, 44 minutes.
It took some
We
tricky
did it under the
maneuvering, but
45
we
minute
managed to
guess I
snatch
had.
that last piece of the Thievius Raccoonus from Clockwork's
With a bunch of
claw.
deaths in Ms. Ruby
I
as
had
well.
taken
That
down
was
each
really bad,
member of
yeah.
Fiendish Five.
But
Molly,
yeah, that's
Mugshot,
Sly.
Ms. Ruby,
I don't know,
Pannikin,
like that was
and finally
amazing. That's
Clockwork.
oh my God,
I'd
it's an
beaten them all
honor.
one by one and reclaim my birthright.
Holy moly, I'll have to
Of
write a
course,
speech.
there was no way I could have gotten here without
Yeah, this
the
is
help of
Sly
my
Cooper.
pals. I know
I would
this
like to
hasn't been
thank
easy for them, but they stuck with me through
my
it all.
commentators. Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh.
It took a lot of guts for him to get
Yeah,
out the
no,
field
happy
with
to be
me.
no worry.
I know he was scared, but he's got more heart than
Is there anything
anyone I've ever
we should
known.
say? We should talk about?
Thank goodness for Bentley.
Shout out
Without
to
his
the Sly
expertise, I'd
community.
have never found my way
Yeah,
off that rooftop.
Sly
in Paris.
community.
A guy couldn't ask for a better gang
Shout
of
out to
friends.
Oskeg 1999.
Who could ever forget
Get
the lovely
in.
Carmelita?
Get
And-
in.
Looks like we're not
Shout
gonna be
outs
friends
to
anymore.
twitch.tv/hsblue/tier3/subscribe/tier3.
I thought for sure she was gonna slap.
Yeah,
the
that is
handcuffs
it.
on me
Obviously,
right
it will not
there.
be said in the actual
Instead,
signature.
she
Just saying.
gave me a word and gave me
That's
that
a joke,
10
that's a
second
joke.
head start. 10, 9,
Don't look, children. Don't look, children. They're about to kiss. Do not look.
3,
Oh,
2,
Avert your
PG.
gaze.
This is rated M.
Avert your gaze.
whoa,
Oh,
no. Whoa, oh my gosh.
And Carmelita got debated.
And
Feels
that's
good.
how Carmelita died, unfortunately.
I
Sorry.
felt bad leaving
Don't
the
play
strand
Nut
on that
Material.
Yeah,
young
see-
rock,
Think-
but I knew it wouldn't be
Thinking
long
Carol
before we'd
just
see each other
came up
again.
again, roasted lava, and she's a goner. But
That's
at
a
least
shame.
there's sun. At least the sun shines.
There
least
we
we
go.
get to
That
see
is
the
my one
credits.
done.
Thank you, Chris Zimmerman.